pizza time.
Hey everybody, it's just me today, and this is the first in a series I would like to do called Feeling the Mode Mondays or Monday Mode or something. I don't know yet, but it's something regarding Mondays and it's something regarding mode. Why, you ask? Well, because this series will be talking about super suits, because I love super suits so much. I love how they look, I love how they evolve, I love their symbolism and all that good stuff. And who in our minds is like the quintessential super suit designer slash icon? It's her. And I figure I'll do those videos on Monday, so Feeling the Mode Monday. Today we're going to be looking at some of the suits for the upcoming DC projects, because there's a bunch of them that have either leaked or been released, and none of these things are out yet, so I figure why not talk about the costumes before they're out, and then, you know, we'll revisit them afterwards and see if my opinions change. That's the other thing, this is purely my opinion. I'm not an expert on anything. I've technically written several papers on superheroes, and I have an art degree, but like, I'm not an expert. This is all opinion and opinionated, but I mean, I'm really into this stuff, so yes, purely opinionated, but I'm also basically an expert. So here we go. We're going to be starting with the live-action Batgirl. I know very little about this show. I don't know who this actor is playing her. I don't know when it comes out. I just know it's going to be on HBO Max, and Michael Keaton is back. Whoop-de-doo. And I know they released an image of her suit. So this was not one that leaked. This is something they released for us to see. So, just my basic thoughts on it. I think it's fine. I think a lot of people were complaining when this first came out, and I don't think it's necessarily worthy of that right away. I'm also, even if I thought it was awful, I'm a big advocate of giving it a chance, because as we've seen over the years, I mean, the suits, they change, they develop, they evolve, and sometimes they give us a suit that's purposely not comic accurate so that we can watch it develop and grow. I remember when they first released an image of what Falcon was going to look like in Winter Soldier, and everyone was very upset that it was gray and boring, and then, you know, we watched it develop into this beautiful thing that it is. Looking at this Batgirl suit, it's almost the opposite. I think it looks pretty comic accurate. I don't know how many different avenues it has left to go, but I believe we're going into this show where she's already fairly established as a character, as a superhero, because Batman's in it, right? So this is already established Batgirl. Visually, I think it looks good. I think it's got some homage to like the classic. It's all purple with the yellow belt, symbol, boots. The cowl is fine. I think my only real issue with this suit is that it doesn't look very functional. I think in recent years we've kind of taken a step back from the all leather look, and if we still have a suit that looks all leather, it's made in a way that still looks like you can move in it. And as a sneak gargoyle crouching ledge leaping crime fighter, this does not look like it would help anything. It doesn't look like it would be very good to sneak around in. Also, the cape looks purely visual because it's not long enough to be something she can glide with. So like whatever, I'll say it's, yeah, like if I'm grading it, I'll give it a B for Batgirl. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, so that's Batgirl. Not bad. Next up, we're going to look at Bluebeetle. Now, I believe these images were leaked. They were not released for our public consumption just yet. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to be real. I think this looks amazing. I think Bluebeetle looks really, really cool. And again, like I said last time, it's fun to watch the suits kind of develop and change and evolve until their comic accurate look. But Bluebeetle is like one of the few characters, I think, where that is not an option, and I don't think they should do that, because Bluebeetle, as far as I know, other than like the original one, he really only has the one look. So it would be weird if he kind of came into it and he had like a different look that his suit slowly evolved into. I mean, I guess I wouldn't hate that, but going off of this suit, purely visual, I think it looks great. I like that they're going a little practical with it. I know there's been a lot of chat recently about certain studios and the amount of CGI they use. So this is cool. My one gripe, my one grief, my one peeve is the mask. It looks beautiful. It looks comic accurate, but it's a solid face mask. Now, we don't know what they're going to do to it in post, but it looks like it's not going to be expressive. And Bluebeetle has always, from what I've seen, been a very expressive, silly character. And so what I was kind of hoping they would do is either be like a screen, just a smooth screen, and the eyes and like a mouth would be like, little pixels, or it would be nanotechnology that forms to the skin so that he'd still have a mouth and eyes and expressions. Since they found a way to do that with Spider-Man and have it make sense, I kind of figured it would be easy to do that with Bluebeetle, considering how advanced his technology is. It just doesn't look like they're going to do that, and I think that's a little unfortunate. That'd be a big ol' A- for me, because I feel like that's kind of a big part of Bluebeetle's, that he's a bit of a goof. He's got that expression side to him, and that's not here in this example, which is a little unfortunate, but still looks really good. Excited for this show. Next up, the characters from Black Adam. Now, if you've listened to the podcast I'm a part of with my roommate Drew, which you absolutely haven't, no hate, it's just, we're not like big or anything. We have talked about Black Adam a couple of times, and I'm not necessarily excited for my own reasons, one of which is the visuals of some of these characters, so we'll get into some details here. Dr. Fate. I'm not crazy about it, I'll be honest. I think I could definitely be worse, but right off the bat, I don't think it's that great. I really don't like the helmet. I just think there's so many ways it could be done better and has been done better. I think the helmets in the Injustice games look really good. I feel like just doing like this version of the gold metal they're doing, but just have it be that like helmet would have been fine. This weird asymmetrical thing. If they give a reason for it and the reason makes sense in the movie, cool. If it ends up being some sort of weird visual aesthetic choice they made, I'm not real crazy about that. The weird combination of the blue form-fitting suit, kind of like a classic superhero, and the bendy magical gold all over him. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not real crazy about it. Dr. Fate being the kind of crazy wizard god-ish like thing he is, I like the versions of him where he's not so much an active superhero, but a member of the Justice League because of how much they end up dealing with magical threats. And he's kind of walking around more in like robes, sometimes armor. I prefer that. I think it kind of works a little better with the kind of character he typically tends to be. And this kind of looking like they're not sure which direction to go with, but leaning more towards he's like a superhero who runs outside and suits up to go fight crime. I don't know about that just yet. I'm withholding complete judgment, but initial thoughts, I'm not thrilled. I do like the Ankh, I don't remember how to pronounce it. The Ankh symbol on his chest. I do like that. I think that's cool. I would love to maintain that in any future Dr. Fate suits. But moving on. Hawkman, I think, looks fantastic. I don't know what it is. The fact that they went all out, the helmet, the mace, the shield, the wings, all of it. I love that there's not an ounce of subtlety with him. He just looks crazy and cool. And yeah, Hawkman, A+, easy. Atom Smasher. Okay, quickly. First, I'm going to talk about Cyclone. Cyclone, it's whatever. Looking at her comic suit, there's not a whole lot to do with it. It doesn't look like they're doing a whole lot with it, which I think it could be a missed opportunity if they don't do anything with it later. I feel like they could have done something more interesting. It already kind of looks to me like a bad Halloween costume. So, you're not my favorite. We'll see. That's not to say anything about the character. I know nothing about the character, so all foreseeing what she does in the movie. We're gonna end on Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling it for a lot of reasons. For one, I don't like his logo, and I know some people are like, well, why don't you like the logo? It's like perfect. That's like the perfect superhero logo, and that is a reason why I don't like it. This is a perfect example of we will not watch the suit develop or evolve to its perfect, like, comic accurate version. We're just coming right out of the gate as a superhero suit, and I really love the new precedent we've kind of set since Batman Begins, that these suits develop and evolve, where everything kind of has a function or a reason for being there. And I think the MCU has done really well with that, where everything kind of develops slowly until we finally have these suits that are meant to be superhero suits. It all starts out as something different. Atom Smasher doesn't look like we're going to have that. He's just coming right out the gate with this cool stylized Atom logo. But, like, whatever. I guess we can get past that. The mask does concern me, and people are comparing it to Deadpool, I think rightfully. And then there are going to be some people saying, well, like, Deadpool doesn't have a trademark on this specific mask style. And while that is true, this is unnecessarily similar to Deadpool's mask. Looking at Atom Smasher's masks from the comics and cartoons, there are dozens of ways you could have done this differently. The way this looks, they're clearly going to go with he has an expressive face that the mask will move with his eyes like Deadpool. It's weird that they're going to do that for Atom Smasher and not Bluebeetle, but whatever. But for them to do that is technically fine. It's a little weird since we've only had that with characters where it kind of either is so nonsensical that it works, or we have a reason for it because we're trying to approach superheroes in the most grounded real world sense that we can, so they feel believable. But again, I guess it's fine if you want to do it. What's not fine is how there's so many different ways they could have designed this mask, and they've made it look like just a blue Deadpool mask. The patches are very similar, and then it's got stitching on this, like, in the same general area. They either could have not included... Sorry, I'm leaning over to where the picture's supposed to be. They could have either not included that stitching or found a different way to do it. It's too similar to Deadpool. And I think people are going to point that out, and it's going to be fair. Now, when the movie comes out, the character might be different enough that it doesn't matter, but it's one of those visual decisions I think could have been avoided. Like, looking at that part of him in the background, because it's a muted color or whatever. If you showed someone just that, they'd be like, is that from Deadpool 3? Is this like a weird grayish version of his mask? Like, and that's something you should want to avoid with superhero stuff in general. You should want your character, regardless of A, B, C list character, to visually stand on their own. And if you saw his mask in this muted sense, you wouldn't think that's Atom Smasher. So that's unfortunate. That'll probably wrap this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope to make more of these. I love talking about super suits. These won't be very long, as you can tell. If you enjoyed it, consider liking. If you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing. For every subscription we get on this channel, I am doing a little drawing and throwing it on a great big banner full of silly little characters. Also, if you like any of this nerdy content that I do and that my roommate does, and for some reason you want more of it, you can check out our podcast that we do, the Andrew and Drew podcast. It's available on Spotify. If you don't enjoy it and you didn't like any of this, that's fair. I'm open to constructive criticism, I guess. But if not, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, so... See you next time. Have a good day.
Pizza time.